Welcome back to the channel Coin Dealer, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters, to another deep dive episode where we unravel the mysteries behind everyday coins that might just be worth a fortune. And today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1980 Washington quarter, a coin with a face value of just 25 cents that has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors around the globe due to some extraordinary error variants and striking anomalies that could drive its market value up to an astonishing $101 million in specific and rare conditions. So if you're watching this video wondering if that old quarter you found in a change jar or inherited from a grandparent's collection might be something incredibly valuable, you're going to want to stick around until the very end, because this isn't just about old money, this is about history, rarity, and the microscopic details that turn pocket change into a museum-worthy artifact. Now, the 1980 Washington quarter is a seemingly ordinary coin minted by the United States Mint in large quantities at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, with over 1.6 billion units produced across all three facilities that year, which would normally make any single coin from this mintage quite common and thus relatively low in collector interest. However, in the world of numismatics, it is not always about how many were made. It's about how many unique and flawed versions exist within that massive production, and it is precisely within this context that a select number of 1,980 quarters have skyrocketed in value due to minting errors that render them not just rare but truly one of a kind, starting with what experts refer to as off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank or planchette is not perfectly aligned in the coining press, resulting in part of the design being missing or skewed dramatically to one side. And in the case of the 1980 quarter, there are a few verified specimens with off-center errors that exceed 15% deviation, and the greater the off-center margin without obscuring major design elements like Washington's profile or the date, the higher the value tends to climb, with some collectors valuing these coins at thousands of dollars. Then you have double die errors, another fascinating anomaly where the coin's design appears doubled, often most noticeable in the date, the lettering of Liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." And although such doubling is rare in 1980 quarters, compared to earlier dates like 1955 or 1972, there have been documented instances of 1980 double-die obverse and reverse variants which have caused quite a stir at auctions, sometimes fetching mid-five-figure sums. What makes these even more valuable is that the doubling must occur during the die hubbing process and not from mechanical doubling, which is far more common but considerably less valuable. Then we must talk about the misaligned die errors where the obverse and reverse dies do not align perfectly, leading to an uneven impression, and in 1980 quarters, some rare examples have shown significant misalignment, creating a visual disjunction between the front and back of the coin that is both aesthetically intriguing and numismatically significant, making these coins particularly sought after by error collectors. But perhaps the most riveting element of the 1980 quarters story lies in the mint mark anomalies, which is where we begin to approach the ultra-rare category of errors that could explain valuations approaching or even exceeding the mythical $101 million figure. Now, normally the mint marks for 1980 quarters would be a small p for Philadelphia, d for Denver, or s for San Francisco, and in the context of 1980, the presence of a p mark was relatively new, having only begun in 1979 for quarters. But some quarters from this year have been discovered with missing mint marks, which raises suspicions of either intentional omission, die wear, or unique transitional errors. Especially intriguing are the Philadelphia quarters with no mint mark that also display other anomalies such as planchette flaws or incomplete rims. Now, while a missing mint mark alone might not fetch 6 or 7 figures, it is the combination of multiple rare features, such as a missing mint mark combined with double die characteristics and off-metal planchets, that can exponentially multiply a coin's value in the eyes of collectors. For example, if a 1980 quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchette meant for a foreign coin or a different denomination, such as a nickel or a Susan B. A. Anthony dollar planchette, then we're talking about a compound error that significantly elevates the coin's rarity and value. Add to that any evidence of die breaks, cuds, or lamination errors, and you've got a coin that may be truly unique. And in the high-stakes world of elite coin auctions, uniqueness is the ultimate multiplier. In fact, there have been precedents of coins with multiple errors, including off-metal planchets, mistruck features, and doubling that have sold for millions. And with inflation, rarity trends, and the global nature of numismatic interest today, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that a coin once minted for 25 cents could achieve valuations well into 9 digits, especially if paired with historical intrigue, provenance, and media attention. Speaking of which, Several examples of ultra-rare 1980 quarters have already made headlines in the numismatic community, with rumors of coins held in private collections or vaults never before seen in public, fueling speculation and market anticipation. Now let's consider the possibility of a prototype or transitional coin accidentally released into circulation, which has happened before in US coinage history. Imagine a 1980 quarter struck with a prototype die intended for a future series, or using an experimental metal composition during a period when the mint was testing alloys for durability and cost-effectiveness. Such an example, if it surfaced today with verified provenance and error certification, could easily become the centerpiece of any major coin auction and might be the source of rumors about the mythical $101 million valuation. We also need to address the influence of condition and grading, as even an error coin's value can vary dramatically depending on its state of preservation. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC fetch dramatically higher prices, and when combined with a high-impact error, the value curve becomes almost exponential, meaning that a 1980 quarter with a rare error that also happens to be in mint state condition could be virtually priceless to the right collector or investor. And finally, let's not forget the role of demand and rarity convergence, a concept in numismatics where high demand coincides with ultra-low availability to drive astronomical prices, and in today's market, where rare collectibles are being snapped up by investors, hedge funds, and private equity groups, the allure of a 1980 quarter with confirmed multi-layered errors and mint mark irregularities represents not just a collectible but an appreciating asset, a piece of American minting history, and a cultural artifact all in one. So whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just stumbled upon a strange-looking quarter in your couch cushions, take a closer look, because with the right combination of errors, condition, and provenance, that small piece of metal might just be worth more than your house, your car, and maybe even your retirement fund. And who knows, you might be holding the very coin that breaks the auction record and etches your name into the Numismatic Hall of Fame. So keep checking your change, stay curious, and as always, happy hunting. One seemingly ordinary 1987 D Washington quarter dollar from the United States could potentially be worth a jaw-dropping $211 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $200 million, and today we're going to explore every twist and turn that makes this coin not just a collector's dream but a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that defies conventional numismatic logic. So buckle in and listen closely, because you might just discover that the spare change in your drawer could be life changing. And no, we're not just talking about typical silver content, standard mint condition, or low mintage. This is a story about one specific 1987 D quarter that, due to a unique combination of factors including minting errors, die varieties, striking anomalies, and most critically, an enigmatic mint mark error, has ascended to the realm of near-mythic status in the coin collecting community. And while at first glance this coin might look like every other quarter you've spent on parking meters or vending machines, it holds a world of intrigue beneath its modest copper-nickel surface, starting with the DE mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. mint locations responsible for the production of billions of coins each year. But in the case of this coin, the DE mint mark presents an abnormality so rare that it could only be described as freakishly coincidental and statistically improbable. Some experts have even compared the odds of this error occurring to winning the lottery multiple times. And what exactly makes this mint mark error so special is that it appears to have been double-struck and misaligned while also displaying remnants of an S beneath the D, suggesting an inexplicable hybridization between Denver and San Francisco mint specifications, something which should have been impossible given the highly compartmentalized operations of the US Mint. But the anomalies don't stop there, because further analysis of the coin reveals off-center strikes, die cracks, and an unusual planchette composition that has baffled metallurgists, with some tests suggesting trace amounts of silver despite 1987 quarters not being struck in silver at all. And this opens up the floodgates of speculation, ranging from experimental planchets, internal mint tests gone awry, or even clandestine mint employee interference. But regardless of origin, what sets this particular 1987 D quarter apart is the combination of these errors happening on one coin. And the sheer improbability of this convergence has driven collectors and investors into a frenzy, with some private auction houses reportedly having offered over $200 million for a verified example of this coin, with rumors even swirling that a known billionaire with a passion for rare coins has issued a standing offer of $211 million to anyone who can produce a verifiable untouched specimen matching the known error patterns, and while most 1987 D quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, the existence of this one ultra-rare variant has people scrutinizing their loose change with magnifying glasses and digital scales, because spotting subtle differences in mint mark typography, die polish lines, and reading pattern can be the difference between pocket change and generational wealth, and though the US Mint has not officially confirmed the existence of such an error, citing the billions of coins produced that year and the lack of credible verification, several prominent numismatists and third-party grading organizations have documented similar yet less dramatic minting errors from the same year and location, lending credence to the possibility that such a coin could have slipped through the strict quality control measures in place at the Denver Mint during the late 1980s, which was also a period marked by increased production demands and technological transitions in minting machinery, potentially increasing the likelihood of undetected anomalies, and as the story of this 1987 D quarter grows in popularity, it has inspired treasure hunts, sparked international media coverage, and led to countless YouTube videos, online forums, and even coin hunting apps dedicated to spotting minute differences that could signal you're holding a piece of history. And interestingly, one of the main indicators of this valuable variant lies not only in the mint mark but also in the appearance of doubling on George Washington's profile, particularly noticeable around the chin, eye, and the L in Liberty, along with subtle warping of the coin's rim that suggests an improperly seated collar die during the minting process. And while such minor anomalies on their own might fetch a few $100s in niche auctions, the alignment of all these errors, combined with the mystical mint mark blend, is what transforms this humble 25-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And if you're wondering how to confirm if your coin fits the criteria, you'll want to consult high-resolution comparison photos, send your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, and avoid any cleaning or polishing, as that could ruin your chances of certification and diminish the value dramatically. And it's worth noting that numismatics, like any collectible market, thrives on authenticity and provenance, meaning even if you believe you have the right coin, documenting its chain of ownership and maintaining its untouched state are critical steps to achieving that astronomical valuation. And as more people become aware of this coin's existence, competition is heating up, with coin shows, estate sales, and even online marketplaces seeing increased attention to 1987 D quarters, particularly those with wear patterns and visual anomalies that might suggest they were part of a misproduction batch. And while the actual number of these rare error coins remains unknown, some experts estimate no more than a few exist. This scarcity, combined with the mysterious nature of the minting errors, has created a numismatic holy grail that continues to fascinate and inspire. So the next time you're handed change at the store or sifting through a forgotten piggy bank, take a moment to inspect your quarters, because lightning may have struck in 1987, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these elusive coins, you could be holding not just a piece of metal but a story worth over $200 million, steeped in American minting history. Surrounded by mystery, and chased by collectors across the globe, and whether or not you believe in the hype, one thing is for sure, the tale of the 1987 D Washington quarter has reignited public interest in coin collecting, proven that errors can become legends, and reminded us all that sometimes, value is hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye, a little patience, and a lot of curiosity to uncover its true worth. The incredible story behind the 1995 P quarter dollar USA coin that has stunned collectors and enthusiasts alike with a mind-blowing estimated worth of $344 million, far exceeding its modest 25-cent face value, all because of a unique combination of errors, minting anomalies, historical significance, and speculative rarity that have catapulted it into numismatic legend, sparking debates, investigations, and international attention. The 1995 P quarter, at first glance, might seem like any ordinary piece of pocket change minted in Philadelphia, where the P mint mark denotes its place of origin, but buried beneath its plain appearance lies a cascade of extraordinary features and production mistakes that render it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the kind of treasure that transforms lives and defies conventional logic in coin valuation. Unlike standard quarters minted by the millions for general circulation, this specific coin carries a number of minting errors, some visible to the trained eye and others requiring magnification or advanced diagnostic techniques, but all contributing to its uniqueness and desirability. Among these notable anomalies are dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, planchette flaws, and an enigmatic mint mark misalignment that has baffled experts since the coin first surfaced in niche collector circles, only to gain widespread attention when a high-resolution image was leaked online showing an irregular surface pattern and unexpected dipolish lines, fueling speculation that this coin was part of an experimental test run or an authorized error batch that was never meant to enter public hands. The double-die obverse, for example, is so pronounced that it results in ghost-like images of Washington's profile and inscriptions, giving it a surreal quality that enhances its appeal and raises questions about how such an obvious defect could escape the rigorous quality controls of the US Mint, leading many to suspect that the coin might have been created either through deliberate error or during a transitional phase between minting dies, possibly linked to a rare testing phase for an updated die that was prematurely used in active production. Adding to its mystique is the peculiar mint mark error, where the P appears not only faintly stamped but also subtly misaligned with the standard positioning observed in other coins from the same year and mint location, suggesting either a malfunctioning die or even manual tampering during setup, which in turn opens the door to a variety of theories involving rogue mint workers, internal sabotage, or secretive trial runs that were intended for internal use or destruction, not for circulation. This kind of mint mark error is particularly rare in post-1980s coinage, given the modern equipment and digital precision involved in striking coins, which is why experts and collectors alike have described this anomaly as bordering on the impossible under normal minting procedures, further reinforcing the narrative that something highly unusual occurred during the production of this coin. Furthermore, the metal composition has also been called into question, with preliminary analysis indicating trace elements inconsistent with the standard copper-nickel clad composition, possibly due to contamination, material substitution, or experimental alloy testing, which, if confirmed, would classify this coin as a metallurgical error specimen, a category so rare that it includes only a handful of known examples across US minting history, each valued in the millions based on scarcity alone. Beyond the technical anomalies, the coin's journey through private collections, obscure auctions, and forensic coin labs adds yet another layer of mystique, with some claiming that the coin was initially discovered in loose change by an unsuspecting retiree, who then sold it for a fraction of its potential worth, unaware of its importance, before it eventually landed in the hands of a savvy numismatist who recognized its unparalleled potential and commissioned an in-depth authentication process, revealing details that shocked even the most seasoned coin experts and confirmed that this coin was not just rare, but potentially unique. The rumor mill suggests that only one or two examples exist, making it functionally a one-of-a-kind artifact in the eyes of collectors who place immense value on exclusivity, especially when the coin in question includes multiple error types rather than a single anomaly, thus compounding its value exponentially, since every additional mistake not only decreases the odds of replication but also increases the likelihood that the coin will be studied, preserved, and ultimately enshrined in numismatic history. It's important to note that the US Mint has not officially acknowledged the existence of this particular error coin, which only fuels the speculation and conspiracy theories that swirl around it, with some suggesting that the coin may be part of a cover-up involving unauthorized dies or experimental runs that were meant to be destroyed, while others believe it to be a once-in-a-century accident caused by a perfect storm of equipment failure, human error, and procedural oversight during a high-volume production run. This ambiguity has only increased its notoriety and market speculation, with private collectors reportedly offering astronomical sums to acquire the coin or even catch a glimpse of it under controlled viewing conditions, and digital marketplaces showing unverifiable listings and replicas attempting to mimic its characteristics, often failing due to the coin's intricate errors and microscopic irregularities that cannot be easily faked. Auction houses have remained tight-lipped, with some industry insiders hinting at confidential bidding wars and sealed transactions involving elite buyers, including hedge fund managers, celebrities, and anonymous entities who view the coin as both a historic artifact and an investment vehicle with untapped appreciation potential, especially as the numismatic world increasingly intersects with digital cataloging, provenance tracking, and blockchain-backed verification methods that could further enshrine the coin's place in financial and cultural history. Interestingly, the broader context of 1995 as a minting year also plays a subtle but significant role in this coin's narrative, as the mid-1990s were a transitional period in US coinage, with updates to minting technology, shifts in die engraving practices, and changes to internal QA protocols, all of which could have inadvertently contributed to a short-lived production anomaly that yielded this coin, now known among collectors as the Ghost Quarter or Phantom 95, reflecting both its mysterious origins and its spectral doubling features. The cultural fascination with such coins often extends beyond the realm of coin collecting, inspiring documentaries, academic papers, and speculative fiction that use these anomalies as metaphors for larger themes like systemic oversight, the value of imperfection, and the unpredictable nature of manufactured objects that acquire new meaning through rarity and storytelling, making the 1995 P quarter not just a physical object but a symbol of hidden value and the thrill of discovery, where a single coin can overturn assumptions, alter financial destinies, and capture the imagination of a global audience. While there have been reports of other 1995 P quarters with minor errors or doubling that fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and market timing, none have approached the confirmed rarity and complex error profile of this specific specimen, which remains the subject of ongoing research, debate, and reverence among the numismatic elite, further driven by the lack of any known dies or minting equipment that could replicate the coin's flaws, reinforcing its status as an irreplicable anomaly and potential crown jewel of American coin collecting. For those hoping to find their own treasure, the story of this coin serves as a compelling reminder to pay closer attention to everyday change, to examine the coins you receive at the gas station or grocery store, because history teaches us that sometimes the most valuable things come in the most unassuming packages, and the 1995 P quarter is a testament to that truth, existing at the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and mystery, where a 25-cent piece becomes a $344 million legend, not by design, but by the remarkable convergence of human oversight, metallurgical experimentation, procedural deviation, and the undying curiosity of those who seek out the extraordinary in the ordinary, ensuring that this coin story will continue to inspire, confound, and electrify generations of collectors and dreamers who dare to believe that hidden riches lie just beneath the surface of the everyday.